This past weekend, my brother and I visited an amazing location, El Museo Fotográfico CIMIC, also known as Bar Palacio. It's a museum of photography. This cafe in Chacarita in Buenos Aires is filled with history. Sprawled throughout the inside of the bar, there are cameras from different periods of time. Tools once used to capture images and tell stories. Now they sit there like relics for all to see. I consider myself an amateur filmmaker and photographer, so for me this location is gold. Now, apart from the beautiful cameras, you can have a coffee or a beer or some food. So my brother and I decided to sit down and have an Irish coffee. As I sat there with my brother and drank my coffee, I began to think, what would ufology and this phenomenon be without cameras? From ancient relics to cave paintings on walls, humans have been trying to tell this story of contact with otherworldly beings for many, many, many years. People have tried to capture images and video footage of these unidentified flying craft, these amazing vehicles, to help tell their story, to help prove to the people around them that they truly had an otherworldly experience. In a time when the Pentagon can share video footage of a jet chasing an unidentified flying object, and we still question what is piloting that craft. It can't be aliens. It can't be beings from another world. Many of us still rest our heads on our pillows at night, not even questioning the reality that we live in. But is it possible that the evidence is there? You see, to me, the camera is an amazing, magical tool. You can capture that moment, that reflection in space and time and save it forever. You can help share your story, help share your experience. And I don't believe that this phenomenon would be what it is today without the photos and video footage of the past. To be honest, I used to spend many, many hours scouring the internet for UFO videos, trying to find footage of a craft or footage of an alien being so I could finally say, there it is. That's proof. This is what I was looking for. The question has been answered. We are not alone. As the hours, days, and years went by, and I kept looking and looking, and it seemed like every video I found would get debunked, or it seemed like they just didn't look real enough. Even when specialists would look at the photos and documentaries and say, this photo was not tampered with, this seems to be a legit photo of an unidentified flying craft, it still left us scratching our heads and wondering, are we alone? What is piloting that craft? It seems like there is so much evidence to help prove that this is a real phenomenon, that we are being visited, that we are interacting with these beings. We have photo evidence, we have video evidence, we have witness testimonies, we have high-ranking witness testimonies, politicians, military, astronauts. I have talked about this before on the channel, but when I saw the gimbal footage on Fox News, on CNN, I was like, okay, this is it. The world is going to wake up and everyone's going to realize that we are being visited. But no, it seems like we're still here asking the same questions that we were asking before. Today I want to look at some vintage photos with you guys because I believe that these photos tell a story of a moment in time, an experience that helped pave the way for what ufology is today. It helped create the field that we are in this moment. Now for me, this first photo is an iconic image. It was taken on February 24th, 1952. It's the Battle of Los Angeles. Now those blobs that you see in the sky are anti-aircraft shells exploding on whatever that craft was. This is a crazy, amazing case. I promise one day to make a full video about it. Now this second photo was taken in China in 1942. The black and white vibe is awesome, and you can see people pointing up at the craft. This third photo blew my mind. It's a cylinder-shaped craft flying over the skies of New York. It was taken on March 20th, 1950. You can clearly see the cylinder shape. I can't imagine what people were thinking if they could see that craft in the sky. Washington, D.C., 1952, guys, 1952. You see the Capitol building, and behind it, a fleet of UFOs. It's an amazing photo. I mean, you got the Capitol building there, and in the back you can clearly see a fleet of something, unidentified craft. Now this photo was taken on July 3rd, 1960 in Cordoba, Argentina. Now for those of you that don't know, I am currently in Argentina, so I felt like I had to share this photo. March 18th, 1975, this photo was taken in Switzerland. You see what looks like a forest down there at the bottom, and the craft, you can see it clearly sitting in the sky. March 8th, 1976, you see 3 craft in the sky in a beautiful, beautiful panoramic view. It's a beautiful photo alone without the craft in it, but adding those UFOs in there makes it a photo that seems like it is completely out of this world. This photo was taken in 1980 in Puerto Rico by a police officer with a Polaroid camera. Supposedly hundreds of people saw this craft hovering over a residential neighborhood. This photo was taken on March 23rd, 1981 in Ajusco National Forest in Mexico, and the person that took this photo claimed that he was actually abducted by the beings on the craft. Now to be honest, this is one of my favorite images. The colors alone just make it pop out to me. Imagine seeing a craft like this. It's breathtaking, and it definitely looks like something not from this world. This photo was taken by an East German NVA unit in 1982. I love that vintage look, the scratches on the photo, and the lights in it. It looks like something straight out of Project Blue Book. And then you've got those sort of plants in the foreground at the bottom that sort of show distance between the photographer and the craft. Very, very creepy, if you ask me. This shot was taken in Japan in 1970. I love the clouds, I love the scenery, and right there in the sky you've got your unidentified flying craft. Now this photo was taken in 1974 in France during a UFO flap by an anonymous doctor. The thing that stood out to me about this photo is that the craft looks very similar to the craft in the shot from the National Forest in Mexico. Good look at the colors, it's similar in the colors. It just looks like it's shooting some sort of beams out of the bottom of it. But could this be the same craft? It looks very similar. December 18th, 1966, this photo was taken over a lake in New York. And again, I love the scenery, the trees. It's just a great shot. May 9th, 1988, this shot was taken and it's amazing. It looks like a unidentified craft, a UFO, actually fighting a jet. Like they're battling or dueling or chasing each other in the sky. It's an epic shot. Imagine this. For this shot, the photographer had to lay on his back to capture this craft that was flying 200 feet over the Kincardine Bridge, I think, which is in Scotland. This is a one-of-a-kind shot. I think that would be a very easy way to get abducted, is like lay down on your back right under the craft. I don't know. Now this last shot was taken over a state forest in Connecticut in 2005. And to be honest, the craft in the sky look almost like they were placed there. But the shot is beautiful in the sense of the craft are right in the opening. You have the plants all sort of sitting along the side of the image, and the sky, the color in the sky, the blue with the violet kind of color. Be it real or fake, in my opinion, it's a beautiful photo. I understand that many of these photos may have been faked. If there's one thing that seems to go hand in hand with the paranormal, is people trying to make money off of it, profit from it. There's a lot of charlatans and a lot of fakes, a lot of people out there lying. But then there's people truly trying to tell their story and share it with the world. So some of these images may be authentic. And it may be a piece of evidence that we're overlooking or that we haven't considered to be real. And honestly, guys, it seems like the evidence is all around us. So we didn't even talk about video clips. There are so many experiencers out there trying to share their story, trying to give us proof. How much more evidence do we need? When will it be enough? I don't know. But if there's one thing that isn't going to change, is I'm always going to have my camera on me. And I hope one day, if I ever do come into contact or see anything otherworldly or paranormal or strange, that I can capture a shot of it, an image of it, video footage, and share it with all of you. And hopefully you believe me. I am the Undead Gaucho. Keep your eyes to the sky. Keep your cameras ready to shoot. And remember, on this channel, the paranormal is normal. And we'll talk soon.